best doubt face. I'm trying to make a thumbnail. Maybe I should just make a smiley thumbnail. I need a haircut desperately. Anybody want to come babysit my kids for just an hour, so I can get a haircut? That would be nice. Hey guys, this was not the video I was going to share today, but here we are. I'm doing a chat. I feel like I haven't done like a legit let's chat video in a while. I did a bunch of these last spring and summer and just felt called to share at that time those things, and I feel called to share again. So we're going to do that today. We're going to talk about some feelings. We're going to talk about some places where I am getting stuck, and I'm telling you, as soon as I feel called to do a video, I know that I need to do it. Even if it's something really personal that might be, you know, taken out of context and misconstrued and used against me and whatever. Seriously, whatever. I'm human. I'm not just a person on a screen. I'm a human being, and I know that my having these feelings, they're not unique. They're not unique just to me, although sometimes it can feel like that. They are feelings that people have every once in a while. Maybe not everybody, but some people. And in an effort to be more connected, both inwardly and outwardly, I'm going to share. So, let's do that. First things I have to address, I have a cup of tea. It's the Trader Joe's Pumpkin Spice Rooibos. It's like late May and 80 degrees outside, but I really felt like a cup of comfort, so that's what I brewed. A little Erin Condren mug. That was from a seasonal surprise box. I know I'll get asked about it. I love this mug, it's so cute. 2, my office might look kind of neat to you right now because that's what I'm sitting in to film in. It's not. I pushed piles this way and I pushed piles that way out of the frame, so you can't see them, but they're still there. And yes, I will get to the office at some point, but not right now. 3, toy storage video. I decided I wanted to work on that a little bit more before I share it. I want it to be a little bit more finalized, so I'm not sure when that will come up. It will at some point. It will. And 4, planner video probably will be up next. That will be up next. Very soon, if not next. So, I feel like we've gotten last order of business. 5. Everybody and their brother is mowing their lawn right now. This is when I have to film, so we're just gonna go with it. And I apologize if you can hear it. I don't know if you can or not, but I apologize if it's annoying. There. I think that's everything. That's the business. All right. What's on the docket for our little heart-to-heart today? I want to talk about doubt. Doubt. Doubt plagues me, honestly. I'm not using that word like I'm not exaggerating using that word. I feel like it's a plague. Doubt is a plague. Doubt, it has useful purposes, at least historically. Fear and doubt, I feel like, are interchangeable, and I'll talk about that a little bit more soon. But, you know, doubt, fear, whatever you want to call it, was helpful in fight or flight situations back when we were, as a species, more vulnerable. Now that we've, you know, kind of clawed our way to the top of the food pyramid, we're not as vulnerable anymore, but doubt still lingers on. It's a biological response. It's natural. Fear is natural, part of being not just human, but living animal. I don't know. We could get in. That's a different discussion for, you know, if you want to get real deep there. But anyway, it's something we all grapple with on varying degrees at various times in our lives. Fear, doubt, for me, has been especially challenging in the past like 20 years, I would say. We're gonna say it's been about 20 years since doubt has plagued me in relation to relationships, interpersonal relationships, friendships, you know, family connections, intimate relationships. It's just, doubt is my worst enemy. Sorry to interrupt, I'm editing this video currently and realizing that I didn't specify the doubt that I'm talking about is primarily self-doubt. I would say 98%, if not more, self-doubt. It is not that I doubt or mistrust others, it is that I doubt myself, that I don't feel comfortable enough, worthy enough, I don't know, fill in the blank enough to be 100% open and myself. I'm just gonna slide that in there. So now we can carry on. It definitely goes hand in hand with anxiety. I feel like fear feeds anxiety a lot. And I am, as I have mentioned many times now, really in recovery and still recovering, but I've made huge, I mean, I can't even tell you, huge progress in my anxiety. I was super anxious kid in my 20s. I'm going to emphasize kid because I don't really feel like I turned into adult until I turned 30. A lot of my behavior and just tendencies and whatever, it's definitely reflected, I think, based on that anxiety and the fear that comes attached with it. But even now in my 30s, mid-30s, as I feel a lot more grounded, feel a lot less anxious on a day-to-day basis, although I still, you know, I still battle with it, as many of us do. Doubt still follows me around when it comes to personal connections. And it's just something I really want to shake. I mean, of course you're going to have some doubt from time to time, but I feel like my doubt levels keep me at a distance from really connecting. Like really truly getting deep. And this is what my heart longs for, is this deep connection with another human being. Interestingly, the two areas of my life that I don't really feel I have an issue with doubt or fear are in mothering. What? I would not have predicted that. I would have thought I would be a very doubtful, fearful mother. And it was one of the reasons we waited a while to start trying for our first child. I wanted to make sure I had time to grow and heal and be, you know, be an adult before I brought a child into this world and mothered children. That was really important to me. And I'm really glad that we waited for that very reason. But it still surprises me that I really don't grapple with doubt nearly as much as I thought I would be as a mother. And I have so much more confidence than I could have ever predicted as a mom. That's not to say I don't doubt my parenting tactics sometimes, because I think any good parent does. You have to, you know, it's a learning process. It takes practice, let's just say that. And learning, and life is about learning, and parenting is a huge thing, and there's definitely a lot of learning that goes into it. But honestly, I don't get fearful about it. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, was that the best decision? But I move on from it really quickly, because I feel like I spent a good decade training myself to become a parent and training myself to be a strong person for my children. Somebody that could love them fully, unconditionally, but firmly, and be a real source of rootedness. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. I wanted to be a real strong, sturdy pillar of unconditional love for them. And I knew I couldn't do that if I let fear and doubt cloud everything with parenting. So I don't know how it's worked out. It has. I'm very grateful for it, and I am something I continue to work on. Of course, it doesn't come 100% naturally, but it's something I work on. And like I said, I'm not without my doubts and regrets and things, but honestly, not really. I feel like, good job, girl. I feel like I'm doing a good job. And I don't expect people to agree with my parenting methods. I don't. Because I don't agree with everybody else's, but they're not my children, so I don't feel like I'm qualified to judge or comment on their parenting. Some people don't feel that way, but that, you know, that says more about them than it does about you. Anyway, the other area where I don't grapple with doubt really much at all is in my work. What I do, content creation, sharing, making videos like this, chit-chatting with you. This is my work. And I'm really trying to be better about owning that. This is what I do. I work hard at it. I make a salary for it. This is my passion. It is my joy. It is where I feel so free. I feel so free behind the camera. And I think that's pretty telling too. That I can feel so free behind a camera and so not free face to face. Ironically, the handful of times where I've been in like working in a public situation, so like at the couple of planner conferences I've been to, I haven't had a meet and greet in a long time, but I did have one at, I think, didn't I have one at Disney World for a race? Yeah. At places that anytime I've met anybody, you know, that watches me just randomly, I don't doubt myself there. I feel comfortable. I feel just as comfortable, maybe not just as, but very close to, nearly as comfortable and confident as I do in front of the camera. So there's a lot to be said for that. I feel like this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is my calling, right? It might not make sense to everybody, but this is what I'm meant to be doing. And honestly, over the years, I've made a lot of videos, some of which were made during times when I was I'm still the same person, but I was younger and more anxious and had tendencies that reflected that anxiety and just had to work through it. And I'm still working through it. I'm not saying I'm 36 and I got life figured out and I'm perfect now. No, honey, I am definitely not perfect, and thank goodness. Who wants to be perfect? That's just the worst. It's just the worst. It's so much effort, and I used to be a perfectionist, and I'm a recovering perfectionist, and every year I am further into recovery and less of a perfectionist. I still have perfectionist tendencies, but thank goodness for growth out of that, because I do not want to do that again. That way of living is just not fun. But anyway, those are my two pillars. Those are my strong places: mothering and sharing content. Those give me a lot of strength, a lot of self-confidence. I think that's definitely rolled over into my interpersonal connections too, and I'm definitely, like, even in the last 5 or 6 months, I've made enormous progress in reaching out and connecting with people on a personal level and not being so, excuse my language, not being so damn scared, you know? But this week, it's just been one of those weeks. I'm sorry about the stupid lawnmowers, they're so loud. It's been one of those weeks where I don't know if it's the cosmos, I don't know if it's just life events, some combination thereof, but I have just felt vulnerable. I have felt more vulnerable than I have in a very long time, and I just think there's been a lot of shifting internally. There's been a lot of questions opened up, a lot of like big picture things that I don't mean to be like really cryptic, or what do they call it, vague booking. I'm not, you know, this is truly really personal stuff. I'm talking about personal stuff anyway, but this is next level personal, and I'm not gonna like open up my psyche for you right here. But let's just say I have been transitioning. I've been in big transition since becoming a mom, and last year, huge transition year, and this year it's like there's a lot shifting. There's just a lot shifting, and it's a lot to process, and I think that's all just kind of catching up with me. The last month especially has been intense. There's just a lot of emotional intensity. Has anybody else felt this? I'm wondering if this is something in the air. Do you know what I mean? I've just recently gotten into following astrology a little bit. And I just find it interesting. Anywho, it's been an emotionally vulnerable week. I haven't felt as strong. I felt, you know, it's been a little bit of a throwback to feeling not a little anxious, I guess, but just vulnerable. And my doubt levels have skyrocketed in the interpersonal connection realm. And I'm just second guessing everything I do or say or have done or have said, just like I did in my 20s. And I don't want to do that anymore. It sucks. It's no way to make a real connection. Popping in one last time to add this that I didn't specify here, but I truly believe, at least for myself, that hope and trust are integral to making true, strong, real connections. And I believe that both hope and trust are choices. And these are things that come from within and have to first start from within. So I'm talking about, you know, self-doubt here. I have to trust myself enough to let go of the doubt. I have to hope for real connection, to convince myself, to trust myself, to jump over the self-doubt hurdle. These are things I have to consciously put effort into. And they're super important, and I do really believe I am an optimist, because I keep trying, even though I stumble over myself quite a bit. Faith, trust, and pixie dust, right? Isn't that what Tinkerbell says? I'm telling you, she was onto something. Faith, trust, and pixie dust. Anyway, back to the video. Sorry for the... I'll stop doing this. If I've learned anything from that decade of anxiety, and I've learned a lot of things, but this is big. One of the biggest things that I learned from, you know, a good solid decade of intense anxiety is that anxiety and fear do not lead to strong connections. Why are you so loud? We're just gonna wait a minute, because look at this shadow I'm in. Yeah, I need a light, I think. Should I be this? Hi, you can see how tired I am. I'm sorry, you guys. This is really noisy and it's frustrating, and I'm tired. Part of this emotional week is I just haven't been sleeping well. And this will pass. I already feel it. I already feel myself pulling out of it. It's just a dip. These are very human. These are very natural. I have these every once in a while. It's a dip. I feel myself coming out of it. And I think that's why I wanted to share this video. I think that's what called me to do it, as kind of pulling those feelings out so I can look at them now that I'm not in them so deep, and I can kind of analyze them and share them and move through them. This is kind of therapy for me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't see her, sadly. Again, I need a babysitter, but I do still talk to my therapist on the phone once a week, and it is just critically important. Alright, we're just going to talk through the annoying loudness, because I don't know how loud it is on the film, on the video, and I can't wait any longer. I lost my train of thought. Right. Fear and doubt do not lend to true connection. In fact, I would argue, and I don't know, but this is what I'm thinking. I'd argue that you can't really have a true, deep connection with another person if there is doubt. That's not to say you can't have a relationship that ebbs and flows, and there's moments of connecting and moments of stepping back, and I think that's a natural way a relationship looks like. And I'm not trying to specify any kind of relationship. I'm saying all relationships, anything like personal relationships. I just don't think there can be a true connection, and this is what my heart desires and longs for, and what it has been missing. And I want to be able to move through the doubt and move through the fear and let it go, at least for a moment once in a while. And I have done this a little bit, just a little bit, but it's more than I've done in 20 years, right? Just to be like really present with another person. Is this making any sense? I hope it is. It probably isn't. You're probably sitting there going, girl, you crazy. Maybe, but I'd rather be a little crazy than not. You can quote me on that. Here's what I'm realizing, and this is not news to me, but it's something that I seem to have to relearn and then make little bits of progress. It's like 3 steps forward. No, it's like 1 step forward, 3 steps back, but I keep moving forward, right? Not that many, maybe 1 step forward, 1.5 steps back. Hey, you wanna come say hi? People always ask where you are during the videos. I don't think she likes the lawnmowers. She also doesn't like it when I'm not 100% like great. She can always tell. Dogs are the best. Anyway, yes, let's film the rest of this video with this puffball sitting on my lap. I think that completes the picture of a little bit crazy, doesn't it? Ting. Here's what I know. I have to work really, really hard at letting my guard down. What my heart desires is true connection, right? This is what I desire. I think it's a very human thing to desire. 1 step forwards, 1.5 steps back. I just need to keep pushing through. I'll have these dips where I just am overcome with fear and doubt, and I just have to ride that wave and process it and then come out and pick myself up and keep moving on. I have made progress. I have made so much progress in connecting, and I want to continue that, and I do not want to be discouraged. I do not want to let doubt win. It used to all the time, and I can't go back to that place. I'm not that person anymore, and I don't want to go back to that place. I'm wondering how you guys experience doubt. I'm looking for some sharing here. I'd love to hear some of your stories. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out to me publicly, you can find me on Instagram. That would be great. I'm not very good at email, and I apologize for that, but I will try to be better at email, especially if we're having these conversations. I'm interested in your stories, and I'm interested in sharing about them, and I think it's just part of the beauty of having online communities is that you can share and connect with people who maybe wouldn't feel comfortable to do so in face-to-face, like me, or people you might never ever cross paths with because you live on different sides of the planet, or whatever other reason. There's a lot of issues with the online age, and it's just a whole big pile of baggage attached to it, I feel like. But there is good. There is a lot of good here, and I think there's a lot of more good that could come of it if we focus on the connecting part and using online social media, forums, whatever, as ways to connect, and not focusing so much on ways to compete or put down or show off or whatever, but as a way to connect. And that's why I share how I do, and that's why I do what I do, and I hope that comes across. I think it does. I hope it does, because that's my why. That's my why right there for this. And it means so much to me, more than I can really do justice with in my overly drawn out blabbery ways. But anyway, that's really what I wanted to share today. And the whole point of it was to share and to connect. And hopefully I connected with some of you on this. Hopefully I don't want to say I touched a nerve, but hopefully I spoke to you in some way. Some of you. I don't expect all of you to be on the same page as me, but let's connect. Let's connect positively. Let's work together to create positive communities and focus on support. I think that's important. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Just a little light topic for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will be back next week with my planner update, probably a favorites video, cookie recipe, and hopefully toy storage. And also, I have not forgotten about Cece's room. I still, I need to wrap up her wall art. I want to buy a couple more pieces, or at least a couple frames to put some photos in, and kind of finish that up. But then I will film a room tour. People have been asking about that too. So that's kind of what's on the docket for the next couple of weeks. And I hope you guys are well. You're not alone. I'm with you. Let's connect. Yeah. I don't know how to wrap up this video. I feel super awkward. All right, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take good care. Bye.